Greetings and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel, and today I'm going to be telling you exactly what is a point and a line, because it's very apparent that even your math educators throughout school and university don't really understand these things. So let's begin. Now, some time ago, in fact over a year ago, I published a video called George Cantor is the father of all mathematical cranks. And I'll place a link to this in a while. But what I'd like to tell you is that Cantor took, for example, a circle like this, and he said that every point on this line is corresponding to every point on this line. But now, that's obviously garbage because a point has no extent or size, right? So, I mean, you can't even talk about number of points on a line because lines do not consist of points, okay? So what is a line if it does not consist of points? Well, it's very simply the distance between 2 points. In other words, it's a path between 2 points whose main attribute is its length. The endpoints are not part of the length, okay? This is why a point has no size. The Greeks weren't stupid. They purposely defined it that way. Because if a point had size, then the definition of line would not be possible as the distance between 2 points. Do you understand that? So a point is a very well-defined object, and it denotes position or location or place. And we realize the concept very clearly when we ask the question, where? Okay, so it's not a primitive concept contrary to the bullshit you find on the internet by your moronic professors and your teachers. It's not an ill-defined concept. It's a very well-defined concept. Defined the way it was because if it were defined any other way, you wouldn't have mathematics today. Okay? That's how important that is. So, what I'm telling you is that when we talk about points, they only make sense when we can reify them. So look up that word reify. It means when we can actually assign a measure to describe where the point is located, such as, let's say, 2 miles from here or 3 miles from here. So if we look at this diagram, this distance supposedly is 2.25, but there are many distances on here that have no number that describe the points. Okay, for example, pi is a distance that has no number describing it. Yeah, you could say 3.14, but that's just an approximation, okay? Right? So something like, let me see if I can get it there, something like 3.14, whatever, there. That's not pi because it doesn't describe the complete measure of this distance. Okay, so you can't say that this light blue point is mapped to this point and this point is mapped to this point. That's just nonsense. You can't talk about the equinumerosity. Well, the thing is, you can only say that a point is mapped to another point when both of them have a measure. In other words, they've been reified, okay? So if you do this, now we know that this point is mapped to this point is mapped to this point because we know the distance. They're all 0, okay? And similarly, if we have exact values that describe these arc lengths, then we can say that the point has been mapped. Otherwise, you're not mapping the objects that you think of as points. You're mapping distances, and it's exactly the same as if you were scaling, okay? In other words, you were scaling this length to this length. That's all it is, really. And so the poor idiot Cantor, his bijective cardinality essentially says nothing more than the fact that a distance can be scaled to any other distance, right? So, and of course it's so absurd because this point, if what Cantor says is true, is mapped to all these points. So that means that the cardinality of this point is the same as the cardinality of this arc and this arc. What the fuck does that even mean? I mean, how can this one point be equinumerous to this length and to this length. Do you understand, you mainstream mathematical Cantor cranks? You're fucking idiots. You were born stupid, and you were deceived by these Jewish mythologies, okay? This is absolute crap. There is no use for bijective cardinality anywhere in mathematics. It's a total garbage concept. Cantor's theories were all garbage. That's why he ended up in a mental asylum, because he was insane. So, expressions such as a ball of points is utterly delusional, and you'll find that sort of thing in a course on real analysis, and you can wax eloquent on that crap, which, is theory that was built by Fréchet and all those other idiots in France and the rest of the world who basically sucked up their garbage. Okay, so Cantor's theories are not mathematics. They are mythology. They have nothing to do with mathematics. Okay, now one more thing. When I mark like that, as you see here, those are not points. Those are visualizations of a point. Okay, and a point cannot be drawn. A line cannot be drawn. That's symbolic for a distance between the endpoints. All right. So this here it's just a symbol. So when we do that, it's a symbol. And when we do this, it's not a circle. Okay. It's symbolic, or an instant of a circle. All right. These things are not things that you can draw, but we use them to simplify the communication. Imagine every time we wanted to talk about a line, we said, oh, it's the distance between 2 points. And that will be much harder, because it's a distance that describes a path which is symmetrical about a center, okay? And also that if you start on one part of the path and you go through the center towards the other, it must again intersect the path, right? Because otherwise you could have a sphere like this, and any sphere would be a circle if you left out this requirement too. Okay, so none of these things are anything but visualizations. So coming back to this explanation here, a point is really like a flag, like a road sign. That's all it is. So if we say we're 46 miles from some Placerville, as you see in this board, this here is describing the distance from a certain other location. Okay, so if say we started here and Placerville was here, then this distance here would be described by a number, right? In this case, 1.83. And this distance here would be described by 1, right? But they're not the same distances. To talk about this arc having the same number of points as this arc is utterly illogical and insane. It's plain stupid. And your math professors are plain stupid morons. Okay? They always were, because they do not have an aptitude for mathematics. None of them should have been even allowed to enter into a classroom. Okay? Because they do not understand mathematics. They do not even understand the basics of mathematics, such as number, such as arithmetic mean, and even calculus. I mean, they're totally clueless when it comes to calculus. Yes, I know that they can do a lot of things with the results, but they never actually understand what they're doing. Okay, it's all rote fashion. It's like saying a half plus a quarter is 3/4. And they know how to calculate an arithmetic mean, for example, but they don't understand what it means. So, what I'm telling you right now is very valuable information. You won't get this from your mathematics teacher or professor, because they're idiots. Okay, they're stupid. Very, very stupid. And the point is that they are so drenched and brainwashed in their beliefs that they cannot be corrected. Okay, you cannot fix stupid. I've always said that. Once you're stupid, that's it. You're stupid for life. So begin to think about these things and ask yourself why certain things are written, and do they make sense? Because if they don't make sense, then they're obviously nonsense. My name is John Gabriel, and this is a new calculus channel. If you haven't already subscribed, become a subscriber and spread the news. Till next time, goodbye.